This is truly remarkable, the weather that we are going through at this point. Historic really is almost an understatement. That is a look from the Lexington Financial Center with your St. Joseph Health Weather Bug camera at a Browning bluegrass. It is just, again, amazing, this type of weather that we are seeing. The big picture, the Lex Dome remains strong, and it's not going anywhere. The history books, we're kind of filling in with pencil at this point because we're just taking the records, erasing them to the next day and going on to the next one. Heat and dryness, both in the history books for us. In the 8-day, there's a break in the heat and eventually in the dryness. So let's talk about this record heat. Today's high, 97. It's the hottest October day we have ever recorded in Lexington. Previous record was 93 from October 6th, 1941. This is our 58th day of 90 degrees or better, so that's also moving us up in the record books. Our historical perspective on that, 85 is the record from 1936, so unless we're going all the way into November with the 90-degree weather, we're not going to get there. You see the other ones, 1944, 41, 43, look at that, during the World War II years, and then 1953, which is what we're tied with now. Also, it was the hottest September on record, the average high. For the month of September, which is supposed to be a transition to fall, the average high was 90.8. That beat the old record by over a degree. That record's from 1939. The average temperature, also a record, 77.5 degrees. So here's the setup. The gigantic heat ridge is just continuing to be anchored over us. There is a lot of cold air out there, but that powerful heat ridge is anchored over us. That heat ridge really is not going anywhere in a particular hurry, so that tomorrow we do have this strong cold push. It's trying to establish fall. It's trying to move that heat ridge, and it will begin to dent it on Thursday, and there is some relief following that as we see this unprecedented amount of heat maybe going by the wayside. 95 right now at the Bluegrass Airport. Your heat index on this October day is 97. And from the Kentucky Mesonet, it's low-end mid-90s. Pick out your favorite town. Now let's talk about the dryness as we are browning the bluegrass. What we're talking about is the pattern that changed at the end of July. We've gone 35 days now without rain. That's our second longest stretch. There's nobody watching who saw the previous one. That was in 1908, and we are going to beat that record, by the way. So over the last 30 days, you can see our percentage of normal rainfall. Most of us are in the single digits of normal. But when you look at the big picture, what's going on? Okay, yeah, the southeast is way below normal, but it's way above normal across the Midwest and northern plains. So you've got this incredible heat ridge in place. You've got this unusually cold air up to the north and west. In between, it's flooding rain. So what happens is the extremes of both the heat and the cold, well, that balances out with everything else, and you've got the extremes of dry and wet, but the big picture, everything has remained in balance. But on the MaxTrack Live Doppler, not a whole lot to show you there, and the whole big scene for you, everything just going up and around that gigantic ridge that is anchored over us. Bottom line is there's not a lot of change coming. Record warmth tonight. The old record high-low temperature is 69. We're forecasting a low in the low 70s. And then tomorrow, upper 90s. Today's record high of 97 may get eclipsed tomorrow. This is just amazing. That's 26 degrees above normal. And your 8-day, okay, you want relief? There it is. You spell relief, F-R-I-D-A-Y.
Always, but most definitely this week for sure at
For the opening
Keeneland.
of Keeneland, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.